Pioneers are explorers. Pioneers are innovators. Pioneers are leaders. We are Marietta College. We are pioneers. Find out how you can become a PIO at www.marietta.edu.
Lunar eclipse,
and news from the UN Climate Summit.
We'll have all these stories and more. NewsCenter 15 starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Monday's edition of NewsCenter 15. I'm Austin Ambergy.
And I'm Hunter Withrow.
Topic our news this afternoon. UN Security General Antonio Guterres has told world leaders that they must cooperate or perish at the annual climate summit in Egypt. Guterres pointed in particular to the United States and China, who work together on climate issues, calling for a world solidarity pact. More than 100 world leaders will discuss a worsening problem that scientists call Earth's biggest challenge. Yet observers say it will be hard to make progress given all the other things happening in the world. Leaders of China, India, and Russia will be missing the summit, and the U.S. midterm elections will be grabbing the headlines.
Elon Musk says Twitter will permanently suspend any account that impersonates another. The social media platform's new owner issued the warning Sunday after some celebrities changed their Twitter display names, not their account names, to Elon Musk in reaction to the billionaire's decision to offer verified accounts to all comers for $8 a month. Comedian Kathy Griffin had her account suspended on Sunday for switching her display name to Musk's actor Valerie Bertinelli did the same before switching it back to her real name. But first, she posted a series of tweets in support of the Democratic candidates.
Let's take a quick look at the current conditions.
Here to provide first look at the weather is Landon Santini.
Thank you very much, guys. Well, as we've gotten used to for the last month or so, we're frequently fluctuating back and forth between cool autumn temperatures and close to warm summer temperatures. Today is a fine median between that. It feels like 62 degrees outside with relatively cloudy conditions. The UV index is really low with very excellent air quality and a very low pollen count of 0.1, though that might drop even lower in the coming week. The winds will be running around the south at about 9 miles per hour. The humidity is roughly 93%, so we're going to have good, not scorching hot levels, but it's a relatively good cool temperatures. You can go out and about with or without warm autumn sweaters, but as we get closer to the next weekend, we're going to have a most drastic cool down we've had over the last couple weeks. But we'll talk about that in more detail when I come back later on in the program for the 5-day forecast. But until then, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Landon. The last lunar eclipse for 3 years will occur tomorrow. The eclipse will be visible in northern America for about 1.5 hours from 5:16 to 6:41 a.m. The more west you are, the better. It will also be visible in Asia, Australia, and the rest of the Pacific after sunset. As Earth passes directly between the moon and sun, the moon will appear reddish-orange. And as an extra treat, tomorrow Uranus will also be visible just a finger's width above the moon and resemble a bright star.
Authorities in Iowa say an 18-year-old sex trafficking victim who pled guilty to killing a man she said raped her has escaped from a women's center where she was serving as her probation sentence. A probation violation was reported as Piper Lewis was seen walking outside of the women's center on Friday. Her GPS monitor was cut off sometime later. A warrant was issued for Lewis's arrest, and the prohibition report asked for a defender judgment to be revoked. Lewis could face 22 years in prison for killing Zachary Brooks in 2020. Lewis said Brooks trafficked her, then she stabbed him in a fit of rage. Prosecutors did not dispute that she was sexually assaulted.
Coming up, ban books.
And give a hand to the world record clapper.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, many of us feel anxious. Mindfulness can help you ease those feelings. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace.
Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
After more than 6 months since Russian forces retreated from towns surrounding the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv, residents of the region are still struggling to rebuild. An estimated of 1 million people have returned to the Kyiv area but no longer have jobs and cannot afford to fix their homes and say they need more assistance. The government for Ukraine struggles to carry out the most important repairs on homes of the civilians. Reports say they need nearly $350 billion to reconstruct the war-torn country, and the number is expected to rise.
A man in Iowa has broken and now holds the world record for the most claps. Dalton Meyer, 20-year-old, broke the Guinness World Record after clapping his hands 1,140 times. Meyer said he began clapping when he was in elementary school after he saw a YouTube video. He said it was a wrist technique and he could do 19 claps in 1 second. This attempt was recorded in March but didn't realize he won until Halloween.
An English high school teacher from Oklahoma has an intent to start a discussion on banned books after she covered the bookshelves with a butcher paper with a sign that said, "Books the state doesn't want you to read." However, Summer Borsamer was fired at the epicenter for a political firestorm. The Republican candidate for her called for Boismeyer's teaching license to be suspended. Boismeyer and others have found themselves at the center of a renewed conservative interest for public education. The movement has gained momentum, with others focusing on issues that clash with conservative values and teach us about social justice, gender, race, and history.
The Oklahoma Zoo is celebrating the birth of 4 lion cubs and are now asking for the public's help in naming them. 3 of the lion cubs are female and 1 is male. Zookeepers are putting the potential names for the cubs into 3 groups. One group has traditional African names like Nima and Zahara. Another would honor the lioness mother, which would be Swahili named Duna, which means earth. The third group pays tribute to the Sooner State, borrowing the names of Oklahoma cities like Ada and Shawnee. The public can vote on the OKC Zoo website through Monday, with the winners to be announced Wednesday.
Coming up next, updates on the Powerball and Backstreet Boys.
We'll also get to the latest news from Hollywood.
And while we can be expecting a rather warm week for the first week of November, the first weekend will have a rather drastic cool down. All this and more, stay tuned.
Where are we?
We're at Marietta College.
This is where we live at Marietta College.
When kids need medical care, they face life-changing experiences. They miss out on the things that make being a kid fun. Starlight Children's Foundation programs entertain and inspire hospitalized kids. Learn more at starlight.org.
Marietta, a place some people call home.
A place of athletes.
A place of discovery.
A place for the future.
Your plan.
Your future.
Go Pios.
Backstreet Boys member Nick Carter says he's heartbroken over the death of his baby brother, 34-year-old singer Aaron Carter. His body was found Saturday at his home in Southern California. The older Carter said Sunday on Instagram that he had a complicated relationship with the youngest of his 5 siblings, but that he always loved him. Authorities said Saturday that a house sitter found the man in the bathtub in Carter's home, and resuscitation efforts were unsuccessful. Aaron Carter struggled with substance abuse and mental health. Nick Carter said that addiction and mental illness are the real villain here.
Rihanna says it was now or never when it came to performing the Super Bowl halftime show. The multi-Grammy winner, who gave birth to her first child in May, said she would only return to the stage this quickly for something special. The singer had previously declined to perform the 2019 halftime show out of solidarity with Colin Kaepernick. In a recent interview ahead of her Savage Xfinity show, Volume 4, Rihanna said the timing and circumstances for this are around the right for her. But the pop star was quickly to shut down speculation that the performance meant a long-awaited new album was imminent.
A record Powerball jackpot grew to an even larger $1.9 billion after no one won the lottery drawing on Saturday night. The numbers for the drawing were white balls 28, 45, 53, 56, 69, and the red Powerball 20. The next chance for someone to get lucky will be Monday night. The new $1.9 billion jackpot is for a winner who is paid an annuity over 29 years. Winners of the lottery jackpots usually prefer a lump sum of cash, which the Multi-State Lottery Association says would be $929.1 million for Monday's drawing. The odds of any given ticket winning the Powerball jackpot are 1 in 292.2 million. Those long odds have led to 3 months going by without anyone matching all 6 balls. In Hollywood news, now there's a sequel to a classic Christmas movie and a star-studded addition to the next Quiet Place movie.
Here's Lena Santini with today's Hollywood Minute.
Hey everyone. A Christmas Story, Christmas, is set to stream on HBO Max, which is part of the Warner Brothers Discovery family. The first full trailer is out for the Yuletide sequel, A Christmas Story, Christmas. A grown-up Ralphie discovers making Christmas magical for your family isn't as easy as his dad made it look. A Christmas Story, Christmas premieres on November 17th on HBO Max. Lupita Nyong'o may not be very vocal for an upcoming role. Variety and Deadline report the Oscar winner is in final talks to star in A Quiet Place, Day One, a spin-off of the popular franchise. The film is scheduled to hit theaters on March 8th, 2024. Suburbia's Never Looked So Magical. Amy Adams' Giselle turns evil stepmother in the latest trailer for Disenchanted. The fairy tale sequel seeks its happily ever after on November 18th on Disney+. In Hollywood, I'm Landon Santini. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Landon.
Now let's take a look at we'll head back to Landon Santini for a look at the extended weather.
Well, here's basically the bulk of what we're going to be dealing with in terms of weather. Our neck of the woods of the Mid-Ohio Valley is relatively calm, but as you can see in the western part of the country, they're dealing with a bit of a cold front coming down south with those, thanks to those south winds that we mentioned earlier from our northern neighbors of Canada, and it's going to be sweeping down south towards the Mexican border. As for us, we're experiencing a relatively warm, relatively calm day in the Mid-Ohio Valley, but it's not going to be very calm and very warm for very long. As we take a look at the 5-day forecast, I'll explain in more detail what I mean by that. Well, tomorrow on Tuesday, we're still experiencing close to what we're experiencing today with sunny conditions and a high of 61. Going on into Wednesday, we get more of a warm-up with increased temperatures of a high of 66, as well as some more sunny conditions. Going on into Thursday, the increase will continue slightly with mostly sunny conditions, expected high of 68. Then when we get into the beginning of the weekend on Friday, we're going to start a cool down with a chance of showers. Don't yet know if that's going to be rain or snow, but it's going to drop the temperatures down to 65. And then as we get smack dab into the weekend, that cool down will continue with an expected high of 47 and partly cloudy conditions. So as I said earlier, we've been dealing with this frequent switch between warm and cool weather for the last month or so. Don't yet know if this is going to be the last time we're dealing with it, but whether it is or not, one thing we do know for sure is that this is going to be the most drastic cool down that we've been experiencing since autumn officially began. So we'll talk a little bit more about in detail on what we might be doing in this cold and chilly weekend when I return later on at the end of the program. Until then, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Landon. When we come back, Declan Garrett will have the latest in the world of sports.
Stay with us.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one tricky obstacle course.
He's reaching, but he pushes it away. He's approaching a plate of iced cookies. He blows right by him.
Oh, the fridge.
Looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle.
Now he's just got to get out of there.
Look what dropped from the sky.
Don't do it, Dennis. That's the way you execute a Midnight Snack Run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Marietta College, home of the pioneers. A small town on the Ohio River with a tight-knit community and tons of opportunity. Find a home here at Marietta College. Bring forth a pioneer.
What are we gonna do? Ta-da! All right. Come on, every pony.
Liza, I just love how ponies are better together.
Me too. You know, same thing with Girl Scouts, Kamiko. Every day they make each other shine a little brighter.
And they make the world around them a better place. So join Girl Scouts.
And be a part of the friendship and magic.
And now we're back with Declan Garrett for a look at sports.
Tell us what's been happening, Declan.
I'll give you the rundown now. Tom Brady became the first player in NFL history to throw for more than 100,000 yards, surpassing the milestone on a 15-yard completion to Leonard Fournette during the fourth quarter of Sunday's game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Los Angeles Rams. The league's career passing leader entered the matchup of the past two Super Bowl champions, needing 164 yards to reach a plateau. The 45-year-old quarterback concedes no one would have imagined possible for him to achieve when he entered the NFL as a sixth-round draft pick in 2000. The Boston Bruins have decided to rescind their contract offer to defenseman Mitchell Miller, who had his draft rights relinquished by Arizona for bullying a black classmate with developmental disabilities in middle school. The team signed Miller to an entry-level contract Friday. Bruins players from captain Patrice Bergeron down criticized the decision, and NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said Miller would not currently be eligible to play in the league without major changes. Team president Cam Neely says the Bruins thought it was an isolated incident and reversed course based on new information. Georgia has tightened its hold on number 1 in the Associated Press college football poll. TCU climbing up to number 4, and Alabama dropping all the way to number 10. The Bulldogs had the strongest support of the season after manhandling Tennessee in a 1-2 matchup. Georgia received 61 of 63 first-place votes from the media panel in the AP Top 25 presented by Regions Bank. Number 2, Ohio State, got the other first-place vote. Michigan moved up a spot to number 3, and TCU jumped 3 spots to its highest ranking since late in the 2017 season. Number 5 Tennessee fell 3 spots after losing on the road to the defending national champions. That's all for sports. I'm Declan Garrett. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Declan. Joining us now is Lane Santini for a last look at the weather.
Well, to sum it up, we're experiencing another relatively warm week this week, the first full week of November, with a high of 62 today. It'll teeter on close to the edge of 70 as we continue on throughout the week, but then as we get to the beginning of the weekend on Friday, we'll get showers of some kind. It's too early to know if it's going to be rain or snow, but either way, it's going to lead to the most drastic cool down we've had over the last month or so, with the temperatures going down to the upper 40s, high of 47 if I remember correctly on Saturday. So if you haven't gotten out your parkas or sweaters or your warm quilts and blankets already, you've got a week to do it before the cold front kicks in this weekend. So what are you guys going to do to get ready for the cold front? Or do you got anything going on this weekend to keep yourselves warm?
I don't. I'll probably just stay in the dorm all weekend.
I do know the men's and women's basketball team both open their season this week, so it should be exciting.
Well, we're looking forward to that.
That's all we have today here on NewsCenter 15. We hope you join us Tuesday and Thursday at 12:30 and 6:30 for WCMO TV NewsCenter 15. Marietta College Broadcasting. See you next time.